up as high as 114K and Bitcoin is starting to show some strength, but is it enough to keep us going more towards the upside? Welcome back to FlexCandle, where we read the candles and flex the moves. I'm Flex, and today we're diving into a full top-down analysis on Bitcoin. We're going to start from the higher time frames, work our way down to the lower time frames, and check to see if we find any good setups. Now remember, this is not financial advice, I'm just reading the charts. Alright guys, it's about 3:51 p.m. Eastern time. The price of Bitcoin is currently at 113,572. We're starting off here with the monthly chart. This closes in 5 days and 5 hours, and so far we have an indecisive candle. And also the 21 moving average is still at 85,593. The stochastics RSI are rolling over. The monthly is not looking too good, but as long as we could stay above this green candle here, it's going to be bullish. Still have 5 days, so let's see how this ends up closing. I wouldn't mind if this closes just like this, and then maybe next month the stochastics will start turning back up. The 21 moving average will probably be a little bit higher, and maybe we could get a green candle. This month could still end up being green. We still have 5 days. On the 3-week chart, this closes in 4 hours and 7 minutes. Right now we're having tweezer tops. We did bounce off the 21 moving average practically, which is at 96,000. We didn't get that low. We went as low as like around 102, around there, but the stochastics RSI is kind of rolling over. The RSI is pointing down. If this closes like this is not looking too good for the 3-week chart. On the 2-week chart, stochastics are still on the way down. We are having here a red candle. It's kind of bullish, like I said, because at least we bounced off the 21 moving average. I said 103,524, but I'm not liking that it's red, but I'm liking that we did get to 114K again today, so it's not too bad. The weekly chart now is looking good. It looks like we could close above the 21 moving average. That's like 112,986. If we could do that, things could start to get bullish. We had this red engulfing candle, tweezer tops. We bounced off the 50 moving average. We had another red candle. We kind of bounced off of it again. For us to close green, this could be now tweezer bottoms. And the stochastics are rolling over, but maybe we could start turning it back up soon. And the RSI is starting to point up, so the weekly isn't looking too bad. On the other time frames, really quickly, like the 6-day chart, we see that we are rolling over. I'm starting to see a little curvature. The RSI is pointing up, but we still got to get above that 21 moving average. On the 3-day chart, stochastics are starting to point up, so this is looking a lot better. We still do need to get above this 21 moving average here. We still have a day and 5 hours before that closes. On the 2-day chart, it's showing like we are starting to point up here, but again, we have to get above that 21 moving average. Now on the daily chart is looking pretty good. I was telling you guys, as this looks kind of like a double bottom. We made most of the measured move. This should take us back way above the 21 moving average. If this does roll over, which it can, because look, the stochastics RSI are starting to get toppy, so that means we might get above 114, 115, then we might stall there, but we might roll over. By that time, the 200 moving average might be a little bit higher, and maybe we'll bounce off the 200 moving average again, and this will end up being an inverted head and shoulder. Left shoulder, head, we come back down, make a right shoulder, and then that could bring us back up to the top of this channel. So this is either a double bottom, we're gonna go up higher, get rejected, and then maybe make, like I'm saying, inverted head and shoulder. But right now, this is bullish if we close like this in 4 hours, because we are above the 21 moving average. But with the stochastics being toppy, I don't know how much strength we have to continue going up. At some point, we're probably going to reverse back down. Let's see how low. 22-hour chart is getting toppy. We still have not been able to pierce this 200 moving average. This is what's important here. We have to get above this 200 moving average. On the 8-hour chart, stochastics also starting to get toppy. We kind of got above the 200 moving average here. It's at 113,447. We're only like $120 or so, $110 above it. We still haven't closed. We have to see how this closes in 4 hours, but this is giving me, like I told you, some type of inverted head and shoulder type of vibe, some type of double bottom vibe here. So it's not looking too bad. 4-hour chart again is toppy here. 1 hump, 2 humps. It looks like we might make one more hump. We are still below the 200 moving average. This is the most important one to get above. It looks like with this extra hump, we might get above it, and then when we drop, we need to stay above the 200 moving average. If we lose it again, then unfortunately, we're probably going to go down lower, because look, this whole time since here, we've been below it. We haven't been able to go up. We're testing it again for the 3rd time. 3rd time's not the charm, and we're probably going to continue going down. So this is going to be very important if we could get above here or not. On the 1-hour chart, stochastics unfortunately are on the way down. We are kind of flagging out here. 21 moving average is still a little bit far. It's at 112,516. What we want is for it to continue going sideways here. Let the 21 moving average touch price range, and then from there we could go up. Let's see if this ends up being a flag. I'm going to take a shot at this, and I'm going to say that this is that we're flagging out here sideways. Maybe we could still dip down a little bit, wait for the 21 average to catch up to price, and then the moving average, and then the measured move here could take us to about 106 116,120, which makes sense. I feel like maybe here on the daily, like I was telling you, with this double bottom, that's pretty much the measured move of this double bottom, and then from there we could get rejected. Like I said, as long as we stay above this 200 moving average and make that right shoulder, this will then turn into an inverted head and shoulder. So let's see if that ends up happening. Let's take a look at the 15-minute chart. Stochastics are on the way up, but we're about to roll over here, which makes sense. We lose a 21 moving average, and hopefully we could bounce off this 50 moving average at 113,129. So right now, guys, I'm going for this flag. I feel like this could take us to around 116K. I was telling you guys, it looks like we could make it to 114. So far, that has been correct. And now I'm anticipating that we could possibly make it to 116 before having some type of a smaller pullback. As long as we could stay above 110K, we're in that range between 110K and 120K. All right, guys, so that's the breakdown. If this gave you clarity or a setup to watch, do me a favor, like, drop a comment, subscribe. And if you have a stock or crypto you want me to go over, drop it in the comment section. This is FlexCandle, where we read the candles and flex the moves. Catch you on the next chart.